9:20 on the last day of special session, and Senate Republicans decided that we would try to get the ball rolling and make one final offer related to criminal justice reform, police accountability. And so we took the 10 things that we had already offered, 3 of which were amendments from the Democrats in the Senate, and we added one final piece that a number of people said that we needed in criminal justice reform or police accountability, and that was teeth in what happens if a police officer is that bad apple. And so we have language that changes arbitration and says that if either party doesn't want arbitration, so if the city doesn't want arbitration, or the police officer or that union, then it goes to an administrative law judge. And so there's another party involved in oversight of that case. And so it's something that a number of people asked for, and we felt like we're willing to do that. So we're banning choke holds. We added more people to the post board, citizens to the post board. We offered the language related to sanctity of life and making sure that we focus on that. We made sure that if a police officer was working with another police officer and witnessed something wrong, that they had to intervene. So we worked on many, many issues. And so I have Senator Lemmer here, the author of the first 10 provisions, and then Senator Kiffmeyer was the one that helped us put the language together for arbitration. So I'd let them speak.
Senator Gazelka covered all the bases almost in front of me. But nevertheless, we reviewed both versions of the bill, the House and Senate. We made a proposal, and they're kind of chewing on it right now. We added specified information regarding arbitration, a little different manner in which arbitration would occur in the event that an employer and an employee, namely a law enforcement officer, and this is only focused for law enforcement, no other labor groups would be subject to this change. They could try to decide on an arbiter that could handle this particular case. If one or the other party decides that's not the arbiter that should be handling that case, then it would automatically fall to an administrative law judge. I think it's important to have a fair-minded individual that would make the ultimate decision. Not to say that arbiters won't. I think arbiters are good at that type of thing. They're schooled and trained in that. But in the event that an arbiter would not be acceptable to one or the other parties, an administrative law judge would be the final individual that could make that case. Senator Kiffmeyer helped in write that particular provision, and she's a little bit more finely tuned on the arbitration than I am. So if Senator Kiffmeyer wants to make any closing comments, we'll invite her up.
Thank you very much. This is a substantial change in regards to state law, in regards to arbitration. We want to be sure that both parties have due process. And so in this particular case, the arbitration process has come under question in many ways. And so, however, in some areas, it does work well. So we want to give all parties the opportunity to do the usual law right now in binding arbitration contractually, which is in the purview of the jurisdiction of the State Government Committee, but also consider the fact that there are times when the administrative law judge, the Office of Administrative Hearings, which has judges on it, so they are a neutral third party that would be able to consider the facts of the case. In the draft legislation, we also give the Board of Mediation Services, as well as the revisor and administrative law judges themselves, to go through the rulemaking process, which is open to all parties to take a look at the drafting of the rules and the grievance procedures. So that's very important. We want to make sure that this is an open process, that it is a fair process for all parties, that even in the grievance procedures through the Office of Administrative Hearings, that everybody has an opportunity to be open, transparent, and involved in the process. I think that's very important that we do that kind of situation right now. That's the offer that has been made, and I think it's a very fair and transparent way to look at things in the future. Especially important to realize this is a systemic change. This is a very big, very large change that has systemic change for a long time into the future.
Senator Gazelka, could I ask you a question about this? Yesterday, the governor characterized your offers as weak sauce on police accountability. Is this a much stronger sauce? Is this going to be enough to change the game?
Well, I hope so. The governor, I listened to part of that press conference, and I heard the commissioner talk about things that should be in there, and that was in our previous bill. So I was surprised that it was weak sauce. But the one thing that kept coming up was, what do you do about a situation where the arbitration just doesn't seem to be the right path? And I don't think the Minnesota Police Officers Association supports this, but we just felt like this was something that should be done. We frankly think it should be done for all public unions, education and all the other ones, but we thought this is the one that perhaps they would agree with us that it was worth doing. We looked at I saw Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association and what kind of things they support, and I looked at their list, and I think we're 7 out of 10 of the things they would support. So you can't say it's not a good faith effort. I think they had 22 provisions. This is a compromise at 11. And so I hope they take it. And let me just say, as we're looking towards the end of this special session, we're still working on the bonding bill. The two leads are still working through that, but it may not get done in the time that we needed to get done. The tax bill is apparently linked to that, and so we may not get Section 179 done as well. And so there easily could be another time down the road. And you know that the typical special session, you all agree on the language that's going to be in there before you get to the special session. That's normally what happens. And so if there is a future date, if something is left undone, I've already told the governor, I'm willing to come back, but we just have to agree. It can't be this open-ended process. It just doesn't work that well.
So what was the reaction from House Democrats, and will you still adjourn tonight?
We are going to adjourn tonight because we've had 8 days to try to close the deal on these things, and the problem is without a deadline it just goes on and on and on. And so, but I've also said to the governor and the speaker, if we come to agreement on any issue, I'm willing to come back for a one-day special and get it done.
Senator Gazelka, Senator Bobby Joe Champion had a copy of the proposal and basically told a group of reporters that this really does nothing.
Yeah.
It amounts to nothing. The change in arbitration is not significant, and that none of the other things really represent significant change. Is this your last offer? What's your reaction?
Well, first of all, I'm surprised that Senator Champion came down here to have that. He didn't have the full discussion. He came in for part of the meeting and came down here. So I think if we'd offered 15 things, it wouldn't be enough. But if you look at the body of what we're offering, and then you listen to the press conferences, whether it's Commissioner Harrington or any of the other speakers, many of the things that they're talking about are in these bills. And so we added another very significant piece. We don't think, if they're not interested in this, I don't think personally that they'll ever be interested in something that we can agree to. We laid out some things that we would not do. We will not defund the police or dismantle the police, or tear down a tree and build another tree. We do think that reform needs to happen. And that's what these provisions are. And so that's where we're at on that. But so not defunding the police, not dismantling the police. We said that we're not going to do the things. Let's see, the other two, I wrote them down. Excuse me.
Voting rights for felons.
Thank you. Voting rights for felons and additional power to the Attorney General. And I don't think it's unreasonable to have some areas that we say we're not going to do, but we did 11 provisions, and I think every one of them they agree with. And you can't say the change in arbitration isn't a giant change that we're talking about. And so we wanted to put our best foot forward. If they're not interested, we'll have to come back another day.
Senator, you mentioned those three things you won't support. I think only one of those is actually in the Policy Caucus's plan, but there are a whole bunch of others that you're not mentioning, from eliminating warrior training to creating a new crime for excessive use of force. Do you want to address some of those things, or by them not being in here, does that mean that you might be open to?
Well, we're just not addressing anything else tonight. We got the bill from the House this morning, I believe it was. It was a fairly large bill that we're not going to have time to go through every little piece of that bill. And we sent our bill to them on Tuesday. We passed 5 bills that got to the House on Tuesday. It was because we intended to be done tonight. And done doesn't mean we're stopping working. We're going to continue working on anything that's undone. So that would be police accountability issues. If we don't get those done, it's the tax bill, it's bonding. Whatever's not done tonight, we'll continue to work on. When we agree, we can come back to a special session.
Is there an agreement on COVID-19?
Thank you. I'd like to ask Senator Limmer, what was wrong with the county attorney's decision? They backed it 16-10 to go have to turn this over to the AG. You don't support that, and I wonder why.
Well, we've had a lot of discussion with other county attorneys, and there seems to be quite a split in that professional
Well, there's a
organization.
split here too, but the decision of the majority reigns, right? It's a representative body.
We often have disagreements with county attorneys, and so in this case, we are not going down the path that they suggest. We think that many of these prosecutions can be handled in a separate county, that jurisdiction where it occurred. Every county attorney has the option of current law bringing a deadly force or a deadly encounter with a police officer to the Attorney General. They only have to request it. So there is an option for the Attorney General to become involved. It's not going to be every single case all the time.
One other thing, if I can. You moved the language on the use of force from the criminal code to an administrative code that deals with the post board. And I'm wondering why you did that, and what is the material difference in having made that change?
You know, I can't remember right now why we did that. I have to get back to it. Sorry.
Is there any agreement on the COVID-19 $841 million? And also, is there any agreement on the House $300 million for looting in Minneapolis and St. Paul?
From my point of view, there was an agreement on $841 million that would go out to our local governments from the federal stimulus from the CARES Act. All 4 leaders agreed. We expect it to be passed without any other bills added to it. Right now, we're trying to work out the details on that. The other one, there's no agreement, or there's no agreement on the other $300 million you're talking about. Yes.
How would it apply to current union contracts? The signed union contracts that includes requirement for arbitration. How would your language affect those contracts between the treaties January 1?
The effective date is January 1, 2021, but first, the rules have to be made, and that is a process in and of itself. I would say it would probably, and I'm just saying probably here, contracts are usually done in there's a period of time. So with the next contract would be anticipated that it would take effect. But the dealing with current contracts, those are contracts already signed, passed into law. I don't believe it would affect them. This would take effect in the next contracting cycle.
Contract reached after that date, you would have to have language like this. You could not have language that was different than this.
Well, it would be state law. So the contract can't go against state law.
The proposal on arbitration.
On what? She said, is there anything close that's going to get done tonight? I'd just say you have to stay till midnight to find out, but especially Esme. Yeah, I would say the local government aid of $841 million is very close. I mean, it's just a matter of not adding anything else onto that bill. There are a few spending provisions that we are talking about. The governor and his team said that because of the hiring freeze they did, they saved, I believe it was $58 million. And so we're having a conversation about, are there things in there that we can talk about? We're trying to find the things that we can agree on to get to the finish line.
Just one more question on the arbitration. Representative Herr's proposal was to create a new panel that would be appointed by the governor. What was your issue with what they came in terms of arbitration changes?
I'm not familiar with what he was doing on his language, so it wasn't really so much about his issue. We went to our nonpartisan legal staff in the Senate and said what we wanted to do is, if arbitration doesn't work, go to an administrative law judge. So we weren't really thinking about his. We were just talking about how we wanted to do it.
You didn't look or consider what was proposed in that bill?
No.
An administrative law judge is an executive branch position, not a judicial branch position. So is it indeed the final word, or are they simply making recommendations?
It's too deep. I don't know at this point. We decided
That's a big question.
to close the deal. We decided to move this forward today, and so we put together the language. And if there's there may be parts of it that we have to work through. I don't know the answer to that question. But the actual language was presented and given to them.
Is there any magical time for when you have to adjourn tonight, or can it be whenever you decide?
Yeah,
There's no midnight.
tonight is not necessarily midnight. If there's progress, Tom, I'm going to keep you here till like 3 a.m. if I have to. So
You don't have to.
We'd like that.
all right, thank you guys. Take care. Thank you.